up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we have a regionals interview with Calvin Cochran, who actually played the Mega Diancie deck at Arizona Regionals. And I decided to interview this Calvin because this is probably one of the craziest decks we saw during that weekend. And I know it had a lot of hype on stream. Everybody wanted to see it. Everybody wanted to see it in action. What was it? Is it good? Is it bad? And that's what we talk about today with Calvin. Now, if you don't know, Mega Diancie has the Diamond Force. It does 100 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to each of your Pokemon by attacks from opponent's Pokemon EX, which is fantastic. Like, this game is heavily EX based right now. We talk about why he plays this Diancie with Sparkle Veil. Attacks are reduced by 30 as long as Pokemon is your active Pokemon. Any damage done to your Pokemon by opponent's attack is reduced by 30, which is fantastic. We talk about the Sylveon, how it's good against Trevenant. We talk about the Xerneas, how it helps out against Vileplume decks, Xerneas, how it takes quick knockouts. Mewtwo overall, it's fantastic. We talk about the Eva Soda. We talk about the Pokemon Fan Club. We talk about why he doesn't think Max Potion's that good. We talk about the One Wonder Energy, which is pretty great. Like, One Wonder Energy, does it really work or not? That's the question. The only thing I didn't talk about is the no Super Rod, which I think is okay. Like, and I know we don't play the Super Rod, but I should have asked him. I don't know. But with this updated list, you actually don't need Super Rod, which is fantastic. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I do have a game later on today for Expanded Thursday, but this interview is probably the thing I'm going to stress the most about today. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. This interview is fantastic. I know it's pretty long, 30 to 45 minutes. It's somewhere between there, but it's a lot of good detail, not only about this deck, but overall regionals and how you should prepare and everything like that. Like, nobody thought that Mega Diancie was that good, anything like that, but he proves to you that you're wrong. He even talks about how, like, no Spear is still good. Like, we'll talk about how the Spear Link doesn't really matter in this deck as well. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and let's see the interview right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we're doing another regionals recap. We have Calvin, and guys, if you watched the stream from 2 weekends ago, everybody was hyping up like, we want to see Mega Diancie on stream. We want to see it. This is the Mega Diancie guy, guys. If oh man.
After 2 years, yeah, after 2 years, that's basically what I am, it seems like.
No, to me, you're like everything, though. Like, people just know about Mega Diancie. I know, like, all the horror, all the crazy stuff he has done, guys, I promise. Alright, so, first off, let's go. How did you decide to play this Mega Diancie deck? Like, why'd you pick it?
You know, I wish I could say that, like, I had some deep insight into the metagame where I sat down and thought about what decks would be there, but, like, the truth is, I'm just super stubborn. Like, I've played Mega Diancie since she came out in that little promo box, and like since then, I play like that deck and like a weird Groudon deck, and those are the two decks I've only played those two decks in Expanded. So like, I basically just see which of those is less bad in the field overall, and that's the one I play. So like with Dark, you know, with Dark has always been pretty good and Expanded, so it's never been horrible. Like at Utah, I went to Salt Lake Regionals a few months ago last season, and like of like my 8 games, 5 of them were Dark. Like it's always popular. So like it's never a horrendous choice, but like it depends how much Night March there is there. So the 2-word answer is I'm stubborn.
All right, you talked about, you say you played at other regionals. How many regionals have you actually played it in, and did you cut them all?
Oh God, no! I've cut like 2 of them. I feel like I always get like I'm always like in top 64, but like usually never like in day 2. At San Jose, I've cut twice with it. I think one of them with just Mega Kangaskhan, the other one with Mega Diancie, but that was when Vespiquen was ruling the format, and that wasn't much fun either for the day.
All right. So you said you looked at the format and you decided to go with Mega Diancie instead of the Primal Groudon. Like, what made you see the difference? Like,
Dark was kind of everywhere, and I think the kicker was how popular that Fright Knight Eviltal is. That can really kind of terrorize that Groudon deck. Like, you can play Mr. Mime, but they play usually 2 Silent Labs, so like you're going to get some damage on you, and just one Pitch Black Spear will, just soften you up enough for an Evil Ball KO, and that terrified me. So I decided to go with Fairies and just kind of hope that there wouldn't be any Night March.
just pray Night March is still bad or something. Like,
that's all you can do. Like, you just roll over for it. Like, it's like the most matchup based deck I can think of. Like, you beat Toad, you beat Dark, you beat Vileplume, everything else, like you just roll over for Rainbow Road, you roll over for Night March. Anything that plays Pokemon Ranger, you probably roll over for. It's just like it's so polarized.
It almost seems like you beat like all the non-EX decks, or you lose to all the non-EX decks and you beat
Yeah,
all the EX decks like pretty
yeah.
easily.
Any I call them the glass cannon decks are the ones you can't deal with. The ones that just pump out massive damage but have 30 HP like Joltik. Like you just can't do anything. Like you're not fast enough for that.
All right, now before we talk about your deck list and everything, because I know your deck list is like very interesting, and I know a bunch of people have questions about it.
Yeah.
Let's just give it a quick recap of what happened in regionals, like what decks you play against, how they go, and stuff like that.
Day one was almost exactly what I would have liked it to be. I started out with two dark decks. Played Brad Curcio. Is that how you say his last name? It's Curcio, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, who cares? Brad's he's not so good at Pokemon.
Oh, that poor guy.
We'll just say Curcio and make him really mad. I don't know that's how you
Something
say
like
his name.
that. I don't know. I think he's already furious enough with me. I gotta get his last name right.
Well, I don't know it.
And then another Eviltal player, I don't remember his name. And then three Vileplume box decks, which are just really pretty tasty for Aromatisse, because no matter what, nothing in their toolbox is an answer for you. Like, they can play Regice, but you'll Rainbow Spear them. They can play Jolteon, but you'll use Mega Diancie, you'll just Diamond Force them. They can use Glaceon, and you can just hit them with any of your EXs. Like, it's not pretty for them. So that's good. Played Kenny Britton, and then what was some other guy? His name was Josh Fernando. I just met him. Both playing Vileplume box, and then Ross Cawthorn, who I was super excited to finally meet because like he's basically the best rogue player to ever play the game. So he's kind
of like essentially the same people.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was super excited to see him. We were chatting a little bit because he's usually pretty quiet, but I was getting a good conversation with him. And so, but like, that's where that Wonder energy that I play really came in handy because he was playing Excelgor with Wobbuffet, and the Excelgor can't paralyze or poison you with the Wonder energy on you. So just like it wasn't doing anything. So that was a good matchup. And then I played, let me see, Chris Collins with Toad. Toad's usually pretty easy. Though he had some pretty bad flips. I'll give him that. And then tied a Trevenant player and lost to Night March. Night March was the one loss. And the fact that I only had to play one of them, I'm pretty thankful for.
So you in day one with 7-1-1, it seems like?
It was 6-1-2, I think was the record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you just like ID your last round or something?
Yeah, we were... The Trevenant player, it's like a 50-50, and I knew that winning that would tying that would guarantee me going into day two, so I went ahead and ID'd with him. And then last round was Vileplume box, and we played it out, but like it came down to like I had 7 cards in deck, and like one of them was a Lysander, and if I drew one of those within the next 3 turns, I would win. If not, I would lose. And like so, we just ID'd because he needed to get in cut too, and he needed the extra point. So we just ID'd that, just played it safe. So
okay, that's cool.
10th seed going into the second day. I had insane resistance because of Hawthorne and Brad and stuff.
Oh my goodness, 10th seed, that's amazing. All right, so 6-1-1. So you're at 1. No, 6-1-2.
Yeah.
6-1-2. So you're at 20.
Let me see. Yeah. Yes. So 18. Yeah, 20 points.
And then like people are usually like 30, 31. It's like
30. I think made it in. 27 was the bubble for top 16. So I think only one person who had 27 points didn't make it into top 16.
All right. So between day 1 and day 2, are you excited? Are you nervous? Like, how do you like go to sleep like knowing that you made day 2 cut with like Mega Diancie?
It's I'm super excited, especially because like for some reason I'm getting a lot of attention this time when I actually cut. Like people were apparently wanting to see it on stream, and I'm like, oh God, don't look at me, don't look at this thing I've made. This deck should not be, because I'm like I just got I played well in the matches I played, but like it doesn't reflect that I dodged so many bad matchups. And when you go into day 2, it feels like every time this happens to me, I feel like, oh, there's so much of this deck that I auto lose to. Like everyone's saying, there's like 3 Greninjas and there's like 6 Night Marches, like just everything I don't want to play. So I'm talking myself down. Like, hey, if you lose all your games, that's fine. And and that's what happened. I was just like pep talking myself. Everyone else was like, "You're going to win tomorrow," and I'm like, "I don't think you understand what the situation is. Like, this is bad."
So what matches did you play against like day two? Was it just all auto losses kind of stuff?
Yeah, we started with Rainbow Road, which like the only way you can beat that is if like you hit them with a really good in and replace their stadium and like make it so they can't one hit KO your 170 HP EXs. So like, and that did not happen. So I think he was confused as to how I made it into day two. Like he kept like giving me these weird looks like, "Are you sure you're supposed to be here?" And I was like, "No."
I just got 10C for no reason. Like,
um, and then I played against Night March, actually the same Night March player who I played day one. And so like he actually knew how the deck worked, and so like
thanks,
that,
Tom.
at some point I had to attack with Spritzy, and that was bad. I used Fickle Attack and Flip Tails, and so
Fickle. I don't even know what Spritzy, which one that is.
I had to read it too. It was like
Oh,
two
Fickle
energy.
Attack 30, flip a coin, and Tails attack does nothing. Okay.
Yeah. We were going for the Joltik. I think we had lost at that point, but like out of principle, I wanted to take a prize, so like we went for it. And then I played against a Volcanion deck, which you would think I would do well against. It's like finally there's an EX based deck, but that deck loves Pokemon Ranger, so which is a twofold like double-edged sword against me. Like if there was a sword that isn't, I'm going to abandon that analogy. It's really good against me because they get rid of the effect on volcanic heat that makes it so that you can't attack on the next turn, and they get rid of the Diamond Force effect. So that like all of a sudden you go from a really good situation where they can't even attack, and even if they did, they would do no damage, to yes, they can attack, and yes, they can murder you. Like it's like it's like a complete reversal of what the situation was. And he was playing multiple Rangers because it's really good in that deck.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, I played Kenny. He had 21 points. I had 20 points. He could make top 16. I couldn't, so I just conceded, even though it was a good matchup. He was playing Vileplume Box. And then my last opponent was Trevenant. He didn't want to play, so we just ID'd. So at that point, we're just like, yeah, I want to go play side event.
So we just ID'd. Like, no one even scooped to each other. Like, whatever.
He offered me the win. And I was like, no, I don't. That's fine. Let's just part ways. Because it doesn't matter at this point. Might as well just like offer the tie.
Because like neither y'all gain anything. Like, yeah.
No.
Yeah, but still, I mean, what top 32? What did you get? Like,
I think it's a box and 32 points. I think.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like Mega Diancie, Mega top 32 is still like one of the crazy stories I heard from that weekend. Like for sure.
Yeah, I was just like, just the attention, like I was on the car ride home and people were asking for the list. I'm like, no one's ever asked me for a list. Like,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've asked you for a lot of lists.
I feel like, yeah, because like to put on like to do an equivalent of a bad deck Monday on it.
No, Rogue Tuesday. No decks are bad. Yeah. They're all good.
Oh, but I don't. That's my thing. Like I don't like meta decks. They're no fun for me. Like I live for watching the expression on my opponent's face when they have to take Diancie and read her and see what that does. That's my favorite part of the day.
I know I have a video of you playing somewhere on my channel. Like it's against Scott DeGraw. I can't remember what deck you're playing. I think it was Hydreigon, maybe.
I played that for a while. Yeah, the Dark Trance one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a video of you playing against Scott. I mean, I know it's against Scott DeGraw. I know for sure. I have a video of you,
that's when I started getting addicted to those energy transfer decks, because I played whatever I wanted. And I played like Registeel EX in there for some reason, like just so I could like knock out. You could do that, or you could like at the time Plasma was really big, so like you could hit the Curum with Protection Beam, whatever it is, do 160 and then reduce all damage by 20 on the next turn. So like you just play whatever you want, and it was like a Pokemon player's dream, because like, you know, there was that Kling Klang and there was a Hydreigon, and like the whole like motto of the deck was, you want to play that EX? Yeah, do it. Yeah. Like, yeah, you know, if it's Heatran EX, yeah, sure, I'm sure that'll be great. Like, do what you want.
Oh man, but still, congratulations on making top cut with Mega Dion. Like, I don't think anybody else
Thanks.
like can ever say that. Like, I'm pretty sure nobody can.
Probably not. I want to
Yeah.
meet that person. That's one of my biggest fears is playing against someone else who's doing Mega Diancie. 'Cause I think that's like an automatic tie because like you can't hit each other. Like, you just diamond force each other until the game's a tie.
Oh man, that's so funny. And, like, the crazy thing about it, like, every time I see these lists, there's no like link, so you have to waste a turn to like mega evolving.
You do. And, that's people are always like, I wish they would make a Spirit Link, like, sympathy for me. But like, I don't know if I would play it, honestly, just because like I don't play Max Elixir either. So regardless, I have to attach 3 times manually. And so like the earliest I can attack without the Spirit Link is turn 3. So like, even if I get a turn 2 Mega Diancie, I can't attack with her yet. I need 3 energy attachments. So like unless I get a really lucky Geomancy on turn 1 and go seconds, like that would be the only situation.
Yeah. All right, so let's go over the list. Like, I know it's like pretty much a 1-1 of like whatever you want to, like you said earlier, which is like
Yeah.
I still think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, so when the Diancie came out, I don't even know what set this is. Breakthrough? What's this? The new Diancie?
That's, I think, the one Alakazam is in. What is that? Fates Collide?
So how
Yeah.
happy you were like when they announced this like Diancie EX?
I was so excited. Like, I can't understate it. Like, it's essentially 180 HP with that ability, and it's just like literally anything would have been better than the other one. Like the one they put in the box, like I was embarrassed when I had to put that down. When I had to bench it, I was like, please don't look at this. Like it'll Mega Evolve soon. Just don't look at this card. It's so bad.
Doesn't it have like 140 HP or is it 160?
The old one was 140.
Yeah, like even worse. Like
it was terrible. Like for like Fairy Colorless, like you did 80 damage and then flip 2 coins and it did 40 more for every heads, which is not. It's not horrendous, but like if you're attacking with her, something's gone horribly wrong.
Like at least, so this one does like 110, yeah. So 60, 110, but 3 energies, yeah, still, but
yeah, it's decent though, just because like against like something with a Fury Belt, it's it's a guaranteed 2-hit KO basically on something with a Fury Belt.
True. All right, so I mean, obviously, Aromatisse, Fairy Charms, that's easy. That's the main reason why you played the deck. All right,
Sure.
So the first one, Sylveon EX, so Dress Up and Precious Ribbon. Yeah, when I saw this card, I was like, "What? This is in a deck." Like if I was your opponent, you drop Sylveon, I'm like, "Okay, this is a free win. Let's go home."
Right? Yeah. That was some of the ones certain EXs I would love to open with just because my opponent would just be like, oh, thank goodness we're playing some amateur. Which, they're mostly right, but like I'm not like it lowers their guard. Like they think it's an easy win. They're gonna have to they might win, but they have to work
They
for
just
it.
like start sticking away via Secret, they don't care anymore kind of thing.
Like let's finish this so we can go to lunch.
Yeah, like I'm gonna hurry up, set up Pokemon, knock you out. You don't have anything kind of thing. Like,
The Sylveon there's a few things it does. Matchup wise, it's mostly for Trevenant. The second attack, Precious Ribbon, which is really the only one you should be using. It's like Fairy Colorless, 100 damage, and then you get to move a Fairy Energy attached to Sylveon back to one of your bench Pokemon, and then heal 50 from that Pokemon. So if Trevenant's putting a lot of pressure on you with Silent Fear, you can easily heal that. I used to play 2 Sylveons just because I like the idea of just switching back and forth between them, and Trevenant can never actually do anything. But I got that notion under control. I'm not that bad. So that's one of the reasons. The other is there's not much in that deck that can do big damage, like 100 and up, like without massive energy commitment. Which, if you're playing fairies, you don't want to. If you can avoid it, you don't want to put too much energy on one Pokemon. We don't play Max Elixir, so you don't want to be that vulnerable to something like an Evil Ball out of nowhere. You don't want to be X blasting unless you really have to. Sure. So like just being able to do Precious Ribbon for and leave only 2 energy on the active Pokemon. That's pretty good. Not having to invest too much is not bad. So, and also under item lock, like if you're playing against Seismitoad and you can't play Max Potion, you can heal a whole quaking punch with that attack basically.
And if you have the double Sylveons, you just constantly just.
I used to do that. When I played against Brad in like the first when I was in Georgia regionals. I did play 2, and then I got crushed by Trevenant anyway. It didn't matter. So that idea was abandoned promptly after that.
All right, so I mean, Geomancy already talked about that. Like Rainbow Spear, really good. Geomancy, etc. I mean, did you really use Geomancy that much, or not really, kind of thing?
It's very situational. If you start with that Xerneas, great. It happens once in a blue moon because I play one of it. But like against Night March, like you're probably gonna lose. But like your only real valid strategy is like try to Geomancy once or twice, and then like put them at odd prizes, and then make sure they knock out two X's, and then end them and hope they draw garbage. Like that's your whole strategy. But you have to get enough energy on the field to where you can survive being KO'd by Night Marchers. Ideally you Geomancy, then put up Sylvians so that you are rescuing some of your energy, and then put up like a Xerneas EX and try to snipe their Joltix and stuff. So that worked once. I beat the Night March in the first game, and then they learned their lesson and crushed me on the next two games. But like, yeah, it's decent, but very situational. Against like a Vileplume deck, when you want to thin your deck of anything but like Pokemon and supporters, that's good to bleed your deck of energies.
So the next up is the one of Xerneas' decks, Breakthrough 60, 30 to a bench, and X-Blacks 140. Now, did you often use this attack, or was it kind of just in there just to one-shot stuff?
Sometimes like if you, I guess say dark, and like they've used a lot of dark patches, you're pretty sure they can't get a big Evil Tall EX next turn, and like there's like a breakthrough Evil Tall that's doing 60 and just terrorizing your board, and you just want to like just knock it out and just X blast the thing, not deal with that anymore. Like you can two-shot it, or you can just end it. Like
Yeah.
so that was useful. And then the snipe, if you want to finish stuff off, that can happen. It's not that common, but it's nice to have a sniping option. Like I think that one game I won against Night March, like that was how I did it. He had a Pumpkaboo active and a Joltik on the bench, and I just went 60-30, knocked out both. He had to promote a Shaman, and then he was stuck.
All right, then Hoopa. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Mewtwo, like, I mean, X-Ball, right? Like, it's good.
Yeah, he's a sweeper. I think I was actually still struggling against Brad in that first game, and then at the end of the game, I had so much energy on the board, I just put it all on Mewtwo and did 180 to the Darkrai EX that was staring me down. Like that was sometimes you don't really need strategy. You just need to just X-ball for game.
Put all your eggs in one basket and see see what happens, kind of thing. Like, whatever. And then of course, Keldeo, rush in, retreat.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's go over some techie cards that people like instantly see, like Evo Soda.
Yeah, that's the one I'm least happy about in here. I don't like that card, but you're going to have such a bad time against Archeops if that happens. And like, it's just a shame not to play it against, because like Dark is otherwise such a good matchup. It seems a shame to just lose that because like you couldn't get out your Aromatisse. So and it's not, I like it because it's a good tech in that matchup, but it's also, not completely useless in other matchups. Like, I don't like techs that are just good for one matchup and you can never use them in any other games. Like, if you can always use, an Evo Soda, and the Evo Soda, it works on Diancie too. You can play it on EXs and to Mega Evolve, so it can be used for that. And like, if you just need to burn it, like, there were a couple of games where like I didn't need Evo Soda and I had nothing to evolve, so like I could just burn them and like search my deck for Xerneas Break, even though I don't play Xerneas Break, just or just scare my opponent by like Evo Soda. I'm like, I'm gonna look for Mega Mewtwo, and I'm like, and then just act like he's prized and be like, oh no, my Mega Mewtwo's prized, and you don't play Mega Mewtwo. Just play mind games.
Dirty. Your opponent's wondering the whole time, oh man, do I commit that many energies? What if he drops a link? Like, anything can happen right now with this. Like, you're playing like a Mega Diancie Sylveon, your opponent's like, he's probably telling the truth. Like, he might play a Mega Mewtwo in here.
Yeah, I'm not sure my acting skills were good enough to convince anyone. Like, but I like to think I was.
Oh shucks, I prized it.
Yeah, like Calvin, you have like 3 cards in your deck. There's not a Mega Mewtwo in there.
With one prize card left or something.
Yeah, like it's like the most unconvincing act I could ever do.
Alright, so next up, Pokemon Fan Club. Now, I mean, if you're a long-time viewer, you know I love this card. I played in the Metal Bronzong deck. Like, I still love this card so much. But why did you play it? Why did you have it in here?
It's really just an amazing turn one card, and you're just being able to grab Spritzy and Hoopa on the first turn, grabbing whatever arsenal of EXs you need that game. If you're going for, going against, say, a Toad deck, go ahead and grab your Sylveon, grab your Diancie, maybe grab the Mega. And especially against something like a Vileplume deck, I think this is the key to being able to beat that. You grab a Spritzy. Not all of those even play Lysander. Like, I know one of the lists I played didn't even play Lysander. So like, it's usually you only really need one. And then you grab Hoopa, and the cool thing about Hoopa is it's like one of the easiest ways to search for Mega Diancie under item lock. So even if you've been Quaking Punched, you can, if you have the Diancie down already, you can fan club for Hoopa, for the Mega Diancie, and then Mega Evolve, and you don't have to use items to search for it because you can't.
Yeah, so that's really, really good. Like I said, fan club's so amazing. I wish Hoopa was around when I played Mega Claws. Like, it'd be so good to.
That's what is nuts.
Alright, so next up, the Wonder Energy. You talked about it a little bit with Trevenant. No, not Trevenant. You talked about with the Selgor.
Yeah. I mentioned that to you earlier. It's just Ross couldn't do it because, especially when you pair it with that new Diancie EX, the Diancie EX has an ability that says all damage reduced to all of your done to all of your Pokemon is reduced by 30 as long as Diancie is your active. So Decken covered, does 50 and then paralyzed and poisoned, but that's 20 damage against Diancie. And then if you put the Wonder Energy on it, it's no effect. So they really are just doing 20 damage to you every turn, and it's really kind of just neuter. It just completely neuters the deck. Like, it's not much they can do, especially because that Diancie does 110 with its attack, and that's Wobbuffet's HP. So you're knocking out a Wobbuffet every turn, and it was really a good matchup. But other than that, it has a couple other good niche kind of uses. Like, if you put it on an Aromatisse or just any fairy Pokemon against Trevenant, that Pokemon can't be damaged by Silent Fear, because Silent Fear is the effect of an attack. So just keeping that on in your Aromatisse against Trevenant can really just kind of, you don't have to worry about your damage on your board so much, right? And then another cool use that never really pans out, but it always makes me smile, is against Greninja.
Yeah.
The Shadow Stitching turns off all of your abilities, but if you put Wonder Energy on your Aromatisse, says prevent all effects of attacks. So the turning off ability attack doesn't affect your Aromatisse, hence you're able to move your energies around to max potion. But then they realize that that's what's happening, and they giant water shuriken that Aromatisse, and then the gig is up.
Like, it's like one turn. They're like, all right.
Yeah, it works for one turn, and you
Shadow
get
Stitcher. Shadow Stitcher. All right, cool. Fairy Transfer. Like, no. I can. It has a Wonder Energy. Thank you. And next turn, like, yeah, that's not happening again.
It's like, oh, I see. You're getting cute. Let's take out all of your Aromatisse, and we'll see if you're still smiling.
It's not even the Aromatisse. Just kill the one with the Wonder Energy, and you're good to go.
Right? Yeah, they just have to knock out one, and then you're just done. Or they don't even have to bother. They can just be like, oh, well, we'll just giant water shuriken active, 80 to active, 200 damage. Now all of your energy is gone.
Doesn't matter if you're Aromatisse, you can't do anything. You can't heal your active regardless, kind of thing.
Right. I would rather play a Night March deck than a Greninja deck. That is the worst matchup I can think of.
Greninja's so strong. It came out of nowhere. I kind of hate that. Like,
it really is. I've never been able to build a deck that can beat that. Like a deck, like an actual, classic Calvin kind of deck that could beat it. Like any deck I make, no, just Greninja will crush it.
All right, so we talked about pretty much everything in your deck that people would probably ask questions about. Now, would you make any changes to the list? I know you talked about Evo sort of some, but I mean, would you anything you change, or would you keep it all the same?
I think one thing that I had some thoughts about this afterwards, and I don't think I need 4 max potion, because I was just thinking through the matchups before. The only matchup that you really need max potion for is Dark. Like being able to heal your bench from the Fright Knight damage, and just because they actually have non-EXs that they can attack with. If you go through all the other matchups, Night March is going to just one-hit KO you. Vespiquen is just going to one-hit KO you. Groudon's just going to one-hit KO you. Vileplume, you can't play it. Toad, you can't play it. Trev, you can't play it. Rainbow Road, they're going to one-hit KO you. like, why do I play this card? Like, I just started thinking, like, it's just like an old habit. Like, that's like the one part of my deck that's never changed. Like, that Fan Club and Max Potions are the only true hallmarks of this deck, and Aromatisse. Like, they're the only things that have stayed through the whole time I've played the deck. So, like, it's just kind of, I've never even questioned playing that card. And now I think I would probably cut one of those, just thinking of the matchups. And going forward with Karen legal now, I'd probably put a Karen in there. Just because if you can, alleviate the Night March matchup, it's really just Rainbow Road you're scared of, and decks that play Ranger. Those are your big threats. So like I guess Volcanion would be like the other big one. So I think it could be more viable in the future. I think it was actually probably not very smart to play it at that regionals. Like, yeah, I played some good matchups on the first day, and then the second day not so much. But I don't regret playing it. I just think that it will be stronger in the future.
Now, do you think it'll still be stronger with the Greninja hype and expanded though?
That was actually surprising to me that did so well. If that picks up, then no, there's nothing Fairy can do. I can't think of any tech that would actually help, unless you want to like play a rainbow version with like Mega Sceptile or something, something completely desperate like that. Like that
we're switching decks now, kind of thing.
Right.
Almost.
Like I love 1/1 Mega Techs. Like that's my favorite part of this deck. Like I mean and people have done it with a lot. There's been people have actually played Mega Mewtwo in there. I've seen Mega Manectric in there. Like people will do weird things with that. I really wanted. Have you seen that Mega Mawile that came out?
No, but I've seen it, but I literally have no idea what it does. I can look it up if I need to. Like
it looked cool. Like it's low Mega HP, like 190, just like Mega Diancie, and then like does 140, and then you flip
two coins for each. Discard the energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon.
Yeah, like that looked fun. I wanted to play that. That might actually have a Spirit Link. I'm not sure. They started doing Spirit Links in the boxes.
Let's see. Trainers, Wow. It does have a Spirit Link.
It does. See, so maybe just play that. That could be fun.
For some reason, I have 12 Mega Mawas online for some odd reason. So
that's a really weird thing to have.
Thank you, Pokemon.
Just in case you need that 12-12 line, yeah.
And 12 Spirit Links, I guess. Whatever. We're playing unlimited right now or something.
Yeah.
Not even unlimited, like non-sanctioned Pokemon.
Just completely illegal. Yeah. Illegal format is what you're doing.
All right, so we talked a lot about this deck, but I know this. A lot of people don't know this. What has been your favorite rogue deck of all time? Like, I know you play like Crustle, you've played Deleting Glare Gothitelle, Hydreigon at some point. Like when Hydreigon was falling off, you started playing. I'm pretty sure it's when it happened. Like,
yeah, I take up abandoned decks. I just rescue them sometimes. And Hydreigon, I got fascinated with. But I think my favorite was probably the first one you mentioned. It's got to be Crustle. There was a brief window in the Pokemon TCG where Pokemon Catcher had been errated, so where there was a coin flip, but there was no Lysander yet. It was like when XY first came out, like Legendary Treasures and XY, when those were the newest sets, this is the format I'm talking about. And so during that time, I thought, well, I should take advantage of, bench sitters are hard to target. Aside from Red Signal with Genesect, it was hard to target bench sitters. So I played that Crustle that has the ability Sturdy, which says that basically it's a permanent focus sash, right? If you are completely healthy and you would be knocked out, you go down to 10 HP instead. So I play that with that Reuniclus card that could move the damage around. So they would do damage to you, and then you would move the damage to like a Cresselia EX, which has that ability which you heal 10 from it between turns, so you're constantly siphoning off damage. You can play Max Potion, you can play Virizion to block poison, but like that was like the epitome of a control deck, which I loved, and it was just the funniest thing to watch. Like Crustle, who was just like this miserable crab Pokemon. Like if you look at Dwebble, he's the most excited Pokemon you'll ever see. He's so excited, and then he turns into this very sad crab. Like his back, his shell on his back is clearly too big, and it looks like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that he can never eat. Like it's just so sad. And so like there's these Keldeos that are just coming at you with Secret Sword for like 150, but it's just 90 damage, and then you just hit them back for 70, and then they hit you again, and then you just hit them back for 70. And it's it's just the most slow death you can imagine from the most ridiculous Pokemon you could think of.
But it worked. Like,
It did work.
Yeah.
Until I ran into you, and then you red signaled me, and it was
That's a
sad.
different story. But still, like, that was still like, I remember Puka was like playing it for like Bad Deck Monday one time.
Bad Deck Monday.
And that's how I remember. Like, I was like, oh, I know what this crystal does. I'm not new at Pokemon. Thank you, Puka.
My life is basically Bad Deck Monday, like in general.
Hey, but it does work. So that's the main thing. Like, it does work out. Like,
Sometimes it does.
I think the first time I played you, was it the first time I played you? You beat me. Oh man, I can't remember if that was the first time or not.
I think we played, because you played, that was that one tournament where you played me and both of my brothers.
Yeah.
And you beat all of us in Swiss. And then the next day, I think we played in Top Cut, and I played Hydreigon. No, you played Hydreigon.
I played Hydreigon.
And I played Deleting Glare, Gothitelle, which this is, if any of you have seen this is a deck that Ross Cawthorn played a couple of years ago at Worlds with Gothitelle and Gothorita. That was probably my second favorite, but I did not make any friends with that deck. No one enjoyed playing against that. So like, I was going to a lot of tournaments alone at that time.
I don't even know. I still like when I played against you, I was like, I don't even know how to beat this matchup. I'm just gonna lose. Like, yep, we're not gonna dark patch here or anything, kids. We're just gonna
stare down this Gothitelle and this ridiculously intricate deck that just, its one job is to just take away everything you hold dear.
Like, the plan is like the one shot the Gothitelle with like Hydreigon, but then when that happens, we're like, all right, cool. I'll just still destroy all your energies when that attacks finally.
Yeah, doesn't it discard energies to attack?
Yeah. You have to discard energies to attack, and then you start discarding energies again. I'm like, well, there we go. That's my one attack. All right, so we're done now.
I won prize for the game.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to say before we head on out?
Oh gosh. Other than like, this is the kind of deck that may, like, the fairy deck. It takes some practicing, I would say. Like, I've played this for 2 years, and it looks simple because like there's not many items, and like when there's not many items in a deck, I feel like there's less decisions to be made, right? You have a lot of supporters. There's not as like, you're not having to mow through your deck with Night March. There's not as many decisions to be made each turn, but like there's still a lot of decisions as to what Pokemon to attack with. You have a whole library of Pokemon, and you have to figure out which one in your arsenal is the correct one at that time. There was random story. There was a tournament recently, a league challenge here, where I got out Mega Diancie, but I was being pummeled up until there, and I was playing against a dark deck. And then he had one card left in deck, and he had one more turn basically, and like I could either Diamond Force or I could retreat to Hoopa and just pray. He was out of Versus Seekers, and like I just pray. And I was worried he had a Pokemon Ranger, because he was acting a lot more confident than he should have been for what the situation was. So I just chose to retreat the Diancie to Hoopa and hope he didn't have anything. And he revealed he had a Pokemon Ranger. Like, and so like he had enough energy on the Evil Taw to knock me out that turn if I had kept it up there. So like just being able to kind of read your opponent and be able to know which Pokemon to use, even if it's passing with a Hoopa, like just that comes with just playing a deck for a stupid length of time, like I have with this deck. like an inadvisable amount of time. That's how long I've played this.
I mean, that's what, like, when usually people ask me, like, what do they play for regionals, I usually tell them, like, pick with the deck that you've played. Like, there's a reason why you've done, like, good with this deck. Why are you switching kind of thing? Like, I get so mad when people switch decks. I'm like, why are you doing... I could play against this matchup. Well, you heard Calvin, like, he could have played Greninja and Night March, and his day would have been totally different, but you never know until you play it, like...
Would have been the worst day ever, yeah.
But he played against Dark, and he was good to go. So yeah, if you ever think you're mad, you're gonna lose because of certain matchups. Well, you're supposed to play 9 rounds in like a 4 billion person tournament, however big it is. Like,
right,
there's no telling. So
you really kind of can just psych yourself out, just kind of trying to metagame a big regional tournament. It's really just kind of not a good idea because you don't know what you're gonna play. There's gonna be plenty of every deck. Like there's plenty of Dark, there's gonna be plenty of Night March, and it's just luck of the draw as to what you play. So just play what you're most comfortable with. That feels almost cliche to say at this point, but like it's You
So
will have
true.
a more relaxing day. Your brain will hurt less at the end of it because you're not having to say, "Oh God, I've never played Mewtwo. What should I do right now?" Like, you're playing. Oh, I know how to play this Mega Rayquaza deck. This is my comfort deck. This is what I've played for so long. Being comfortable is super important.
Yeah, I mean, like, and like if you look at all the competitive, like I guess like super like competitive taco people, they usually stick with one deck like all throughout the year. Like,
They do, yeah. That's
no,
why Israel's done so well. He's played Evil Tall probably longer than I've played Fairies. Because
he's played dark, like,
yeah, just any darks and
yeah,
just like
like Darkrai to Evital to now whatever the heck we have now. Like,
yeah,
he's
and
always
like
played it. Like, yeah.
and he there's no one who knows how to play that deck better than he does, and that's actually like a good deck and stuff. So like, hence he does well.
But you can play a deck like yours, and people have no idea what to do, and they're like, "All right,
Right.
well, I guess I'll just try to do this." And like, they have no like. That's sometimes a good thing about playing rogue decks. Like, people don't know what to do, and then by the time they know how to play against it, well, you've already lost, and that's your one turn. Like, the one,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. It's the speed of a deck is something you really have to consider at a regionals. You either need to play a deck that's fast enough to where you can finish 3 games, or play one that's so like egregiously slow that you can only finish 1 game. And that's the deck I played. So like we play one very long, confusing game, and then we don't finish game 2. I think there was one game I played on the first day where we actually finished finished game 2. Like all the others, I won game 1 and we didn't finish game 2.
Your opponent's just sitting there the whole time, like, "What do I do? How do I
Yeah,
beat this deck?" Like,
take a long time to. I never rush them game 1. Like I'm just like, take your time, read all the cards you want. We have all day.
I know how I'm gonna beat you game 1, and during game 1, you're gonna try to figure out how to beat me game 2. But game 2 is
Right.
yep, we just took 40 minutes for game 1.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to slow play them. You just play a normal pace. You will not have enough time because you'll spend 35 minutes on game 1.
And the key thing to note, like Mega Diancie only does 100 damage. Like, you're
Oh
never
yeah.
one shot. Like, they're gonna retreat, and you're like, "All right, cool. I could live stream to take a knockout if I want to, but I could just keep it there as well," kind of thing. Like,
Right. Right. There's really no rush at all. It's really kind of relaxing. Like I feel like I'd be stressed out playing a deck like Night March. Like there's just too much going on. I just need one attachment per turn, which Night March doesn't. But like I don't. You could literally play through your whole deck with Night March, and like there's no way this get could do that.
your turn, it's like, "All right, I'll fan club for Hoopa. I'll get a Diancie, Mega Diancie, maybe another Pokemon attach, and I'll pass to you.
Right. My
Next
turns
turn,
are pretty brief.
I'll Aromatisse, attach, Mega Evolve, your turn."
Right. Yeah. Like if I attack on turn 4, that's a good day for me. That's a good game for me. That is the gold standard. Like we have very low standards for game speed in this deck, which I'm
Uh,
sure like a Night March player watching this video is like vomiting right now, like at the thought of that.
I mean, that's been almost like all your decks, like Crustle, Deleting Largottail, like, especially Deleting Largottail, like, that was, like, win by scoop. Like, I lost. Like, how do I determine when to scoop? Alright.
That was a fun deck. My goodness, that was. Because that was a weird deck because you had to get the stage 1 out, and like so that like you were required to go slow, like
Yeah,
even
you
with
can't
rare
even rare
candy.
candy kind of thing.
Yeah, you had to like. I even came up with names for the Gothitels because you set up one Gothitelle with rare candy, and then another one you'd manually evolve up. So I had like Deleting Glare Gothitelle and then Beat Stick Gothitelle. Like you would like take their entry away, and then you would kill the Russian and bring in Beat Stick Gothitelle, and then Mad Kinesis them.
Jeez. Oh my goodness. Alright, Calvin, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody before we head out?
Yeah, I'd give a shout out to the car that I went over with, Joshua, Tan, Hex, who wasn't able to go with us, John, Fam. I don't know if I said him already. Abby, Brandon, everyone I stayed with. We did an Airbnb, which was like I'm just discovering this. Airbnb is like the way to go. If you have like a big group, like it's amazing.
Was it
So like
nice? Was it super nice house?
it was super spacious. Like we had like 12 people there, and like it ended up being like $45 per person for the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
weekend. Yeah, so like and it was like a pool there and stuff. Like so like it was pretty nice. So like just shout out to everyone in my car, and shout out to my brothers who I still talk to about Pokemon. I don't play as much anymore, but I wouldn't still be playing this game if I hadn't played so much with them when I was younger. when we were just, playing our Venusaur versus Charizard decks,
I understand that. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for this interview. I really do appreciate it. Once
Hmm.
again, congrats. Hopefully, we'll
Thank you.
play. We'll see you this weekend. 2
Oh
days.
yeah, I'll be in Orlando.
See
I've
you
got a
Orlando
friend
for
out
sure.
there. Yeah.
Don't worry, he'll probably come with some sneaky new deck or something and just probably beat y'all with. And you won't even know what happened. Like he said, you'll just pick up a card and be like, "What is this?" Like shenanigans kind of thing going on.
Most of my decks look like someone dropped a binder. Like, this is a good synopsis of them.
That's how Ross says he supposedly makes his decks too. So,
Right?
like I
Yeah.
said, y'all basically twins. That game should have been streamed. That was a streamed game that should have been on for sure.
Yeah. I would have loved that, man. To beat him. I tried not to fanboy. I don't think I succeeded.
Maybe he'll come to Orlando. Y'all pair again. I'll for sure put y'all on there.
I bet he will. He's from Chicago, I think. So
Yeah,
he flew to Phoenix. So Orlando's not that much farther.
He's like 500 points. We gotta go. We gotta try to get this. Like
Yeah. He's qualified for every world so far, hasn't he?
every world he's qualified so far.
Yeah,
So
that's nuts. That's nuts.
he'll get it somehow, guys. Don't you worry. Like.
All right, he's an amazing player.
Yeah. All right, guys. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know you learned something about Mega Diancie. There's no way you did not. I know I learned so much during this video. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty. Bye. Alright, guys. I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.